Hello everyone, welcome back to my video lecture series on ARM microcontroller and embedded systems. Today I am going to explain about a specific application specific and domain specific embedded systems. Let us have a look. After going through this section, the students will be able to demonstrate application specific aspects of an embedded system with one example that we are going to see here, and then they are able to demonstrate the presence of embedded systems in an automotive industries. Let us go through. So the application specific embedded system. Here basically an embedded systems are application or domain specific. It means say specifically they are built for certain applications or they are built for certain domains. Like a consumer electronics is one domain, a telecom unit is one domain, automotive industry is another domain, and some industrial control like food manufacturing or some other manufacturing units is also having embedded applications with a specific tasks. So here we are going to see about a washing machine. So there are typically two types are there. One is a front end and another one is a top end. A simple top end washing machine has been taken up here. So it's typically an example for this embedded system that is providing extensive support in home automation applications in the domain of home automation. So in the figure we can see that the block diagram of washing machine which contains some of the parts like inner tub, outer tub, some basically all washing machines are having these kinds of components, level sensor, a water inlet pipe, water outlet pipe, and then there may be there is a integrated control panel for user interface. Like in the figure right side we can see that there is a LED display. This is a user interface. There is a in that user interface there is a LED interface, LED display, keyboard, and many other things for setting up the control things. So this washing machine is having different parts. In that the first we'll go through the actuator part. So this actuator part of washing machine consists of a motorized agitator, a tumble tub where we are going to put all the cloths, and water drawing pumps like an inlet valve, and to control flow of water into the unit, as well as there is an outlet valve which is flowing the water out of the washing machine. Then sensor part consists of water temperature sensors, level sensors, and many other sensors. The control part contains unit contains a microprocessor or controller based board with input output interfaces, as well as a connection to the sensors and actuators. A control algorithm is going to be run on the any chosen microcontroller, which is going to control a sensors and actuators. So this control unit also has an input interfaces like a keyboard interface for taking inputs from the user, which consists of a wash type selector, namely a wash or a spin, and rinse, a spin phase like rotation per minute, and there is a time setting that is also given by the input keyboard, a cloth type selector, namely a light cloth, a medium, or a heavy duty, and washing time settings, etc. So these are all input interfaces. Then by taking the input commands from this input interfaces, the controller is going to act upon the control algorithm. So the output interfaces consists of an LED, LCD to display the status of the washing machine, and a status indication LEDs, etc., connected to the input output bus of the controller. The other types of input output interfaces which are invisible to the end users are different kinds of sensors. So basically these sensors are not visible, like water temperature sensor, which will always check and display on the LCD screen, a water level sensor, etc. And actuator interfacing unit, motor control for agitator, and a tub movement for rinsing the cloths, tub movement control, as well as inlet water flow control. These are such kind of components which are not visible. The sensor data is fed back to the control unit, and the control unit generates the necessary actuator outputs. So user feedback is reflected through a display unit and LEDs connected to the control board. So this is specific to one application. That is, a washing machine is going to work, it is going to spin, it is going to rinse a cloths for washing. That is, it is a specific task. So it will not do some other work or some other applications like microwave oven, where that cannot be used for a washing, and the washing machine cannot be used for as a microwave oven. Next, we will go for an automotive. So automotive is one domain. So some of the embedded systems are made only for this automotive or domain specific embedded systems. So here in the figure we can see that a simple vehicle, a car, has been taken up for an example as an automotive industry, from the automotive industry, where there are so many things are connected, so many embedded systems are connected to control the car in automatic way. Like we can say that instrumentation, like the display, the speed display, digital speedometer, digital, then there is a many things in front of a driver, which unit is instrumentation. Then there is a engine control, then there is a fan control, fuel injection, control, headlamp control, ABS control, which is inserted near to the front wheels, a wiper control, then a suspension control, then a centralized locking. From the driver, all the doors can be locked, like a power windows, then mirror control, then seat control, an airbag control, and power steering, air conditioners. So in general vehicle, these all are essential, and these embedded systems are inbuilt along with the in the manufacturing unit only. So all these are some of the inner working of automotive embedded systems. So these systems are the one where electronics take control over a mechanical parts or mechanical systems. So the embedded system in a vehicle varies from simple mirror wipers that we have seen here, some mirror and wiper controls, to a complex airbag controller system. Or there may be an anti-lock braking system also, which is a very complex embedded system. So these automotive embedded systems are normally built around microcontrollers or some of the DSPs, or a hybrid of both controller and DSPs, and are generally known as electronic control units. These embedded systems in the vehicle or in the automotive domain, it is called as electronic control units. So in an ordinary vehicle, basically in a simple car, we can see it is varying from 20 to 40 embedded systems, a maximum of embedded systems in a normal or ordinary vehicles. Whereas in a high-end vehicles like a BMW or Mercedes S, it is 75 to hundreds of embedded systems. So a microprocessor based fuel injection system introduced in Volkswagen 1600 in the year of 1968 only. So before, when it's a startup of the embedded system, which was a microprocessor based, a fuel injection system has been introduced by the Volkswagen company. A government regulations on fuel economy and many environmental factors, and based upon emission standards and safety and comfort zones, that makes the manufacturer to opt a very sophisticated embedded control units. So there are two types of embedded control units. First one is a high speed embedded electronic control unit and low speed electronic control units. So basically these high speed electronic control units are deployed in critical control units requiring a fast response like fuel injection or ABS, anti-lock braking system, which should respond in a very quicker time whenever the event occurs. So it is a very critical and used in a high speed electronic control units. Then low speed electronic control units are which are deployed in applications where the response time is not so critical. So they are generally built around a low cost microprocessor or a controller and digital signal processors audio controllers, passenger and driver door locks, door glass control, etc. are example for a low speed electronic control units. So this automotive industry, automotive vehicles uses some communication buses, a different communication buses than what we use in general embedded systems. So these are a controlled area network, CAN protocol, a local interconnect network, LIN protocol, and MOST protocol, that is media oriented system transport bus. So these are used for connecting different kinds of embedded systems with each other to make a complete one system to control a mechanical parts. So like a CAN is an event driven serial protocol interface with support for error handling as well as in a data transmission. So it is generally employed in a safety systems like airbag control or powertrain systems like engine control and anti-lock braking systems. So CAN is used in such embedded systems for transformation of in the data transmission and error handling. LIN bus, a local interconnect network bus, is a single master and a multiple slaves, that is up to 16 independent slaves nodes can be communicated and they can be interfaced. So this is a low speed a single wire communication with the support for data rates up to 20 kbps only, and it is used for sensors and actuator interfacing basically. So which is a low speed communication bus comparatively with the CAN. So CAN is almost every high end vehicle or high-end embedded system is going to be connected with the CAN protocol in any of the automotive domain. The media oriented system transport, most bus is a targeted for automotive audio video equipments. So basically for entertainment or audio and video equipments interfacing. So most bus is a multimedia, a fiber optic point to point network implemented in a star or a ring or a daisy chained topology by using an optical fiber cables. So this is up to this section. We will go for newer sections in next presentations, next videos. Thank you.